a good pair right there.
Huh?
That's a good pair right there.
We're still not going.
Not moving?
Well,
right.
I mean, we're moving a little, I guess.
Here, let me play with it a minute.
I think we'll get it. Hold up. Yeah, now we're talking.
Here you are. Now,
So, in my other disc, what originally broke was this little spring in here. It shattered, and then when that all went, then of course my clutch adjustment went out. So, what if I was at the school and doing this? I would cut this out, clamp it, face, and then have it flipped on a set of parallels because the parallels are set
hold
high.
it off the bottom where
Yeah.
they're true,
Yeah,
and they're on the surface you face.
I'd face,
And-
put the 3 holes in it first, and then if we're cutting the disc out over there,
You got to have the center before you put your 3 holes in it.
yeah.
The center, then your 3 holes, but then before you cut it out, you go back and cut your center out,
To the,
whatever it is that you're going to do with these things.
yep,
And then you go back and cut the outside out.
yep. Outside's last, but, well, let's,
Now, if we had to, if you cut the outside out, you could actually put it in the lathe
true it at that point.
and turn the center out.
And I think I'd rather have a hole, well, how are you going to clamp it in the lathe?
With the jaws on the outside once you cut it out.
Flip your jaws over?
Yeah, you'd have to.
Alright, because I thought you didn't like flipping your jaws over.
I don't like flipping my gun.
Yeah, I would prefer to bore a slot for this hole in the lathe rather than on the rotary table, because the rotary table, if you mess up, you kind of mess up, and then we're trying to figure something out for that. Where on the lathe, I mean, you mess up, but at least we can be a little bit more precise at the figure. Yeah, because you're going to have a harder time trying to make the holes undersized than you would have trying to make the pins undersized.
So one drill bit under would be a 64 under.
So .0625, and it's still 60 thousandths where my way is.
Huh? Well, I'm just saying when you drill the hole, drill them with a drill bit, drill them a 64th under, and then either go back and turn your pins down that much just to fit, or
I like the 64, like the 64th under, because I was thinking the 16th for whatever reason. Yeah.
64th under is the one drill bit size under the 3/8.
Yep.
Then,
That's what, 15,
and if I had
64
a reamer,
we could ream it, but we don't have a reamer. Actually, we
might.
do. I think you might have a 3/8 reamer.
I might. If I do, we could ream it. If I don't, then you end up just taking your pins, putting them in the lathe, turning them just to fit, drive them in, weld the backside.
Do we want to drive with your press, like press in drive, or just tap hammer in?
Just hammer in.
All right, and then just weld the backside. That
Oh, I know what that is.
connector.
Look, Doc. All right. Or do you want me to just like weld it in 3 or 4 different places and turn it just so it fit tight on?
Probably be better just to have it solid, wouldn't it?
More neat.
Something like that. Alright guys, so I'm about to start machining me a new one of these plates. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get started machining this part out.
The only thing I can tell you is whoever did that tigging did some pretty welding.
Yeah.
I hate to cut it all off, but I guess I will.
Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and get started remachining one of these plates. As I said before, the reason we're redoing it is because when I originally built this one, I got the 3 pins centered pretty well with each other, but not with the actual center of the plate. So it caused a little bit of flop in my clutch, which has then put me in the problem that I have now. So I figured while I'm pulling the clutch out, might as well rebuild this plate, and that's what we're about to do, and I'm about to get started on it. Alright guys, so it's the next day. We did not get anywhere near as done as we thought we were going to yesterday. But that's alright. So I've gone ahead and started making this plate and cutting it out. And now we're going to go ahead and cut the inside out so this little collet can just ride on, and then we can weld it in. When we're cutting out, we're going to cut out to this inside lip. So we'll take the cutter, put it over at 0, because right now we're at some weird number. Run it. And in theory, when this thing hits 0, 0, we should be able to drop the end mill straight through the hole in the center of this.
You hope so.
We hope. If not, we screwed up somewhere.
We also cut these 3 off of the same plate that this was off of. So I'll put these back in the lathe and turn them down to whatever this is, and then we'll drill our, well, we'll turn it down to 3/8. Whatever, what is that, 3/8?
Yeah.
And then drive them in the hole there, and then, well, a little bigger than 3/8, and drive them in the hole and then weld them on the back side, and these will be our 3 pin.
We've got this plate pretty much made. We're going to go ahead and set up the welder and weld the collet in. We got the pins almost done, and we have our other back collet where the pilot bearings can go into cut, and we still have to make its slot. So these right here will press right into these holes. See, it's tight fit, which is what we want. So we're making progress. That's pretty much where it should play. I'll try not to throw sparks at you. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and keep trying to get this thing square, and then we'll go ahead and tack it in, double check, and then I'll catch you back with you guys right before I finish welding it.
That's it.
Oh, we already got it?
Oh, we're ready.
Cool. So let's go ahead and tack on 2 sides, 180 from each other, and then double check everything.
Yep.
And small tacks. Alrighty, so we've been scratching our heads for the last little bit. I just knocked that over. We've been scratching our heads for the last little bit trying to figure out why, after we tack welded it, it wasn't true. And after playing around with some calipers and putting it on the lathe and spinning it, we think we've got it back to the way it should be. So now we're going to pull it tight with this bolt set up tack it into place, and then double check it again. Alright, so we're slowly making progress. I just got done welding the crankshaft collet in place, and now we're working on turning a bore for the pilot bearing collet to sit in. And then once we get the bore turned, we'll press it in, weld all the way around it, put our 3 pins in, and then hopefully we'll be able to reassemble a clutch. At least that's the plan. It took a lot of doing to try and get this where it was all centered and squared enough, but finally got it.
Shouldn't have, but we're learning a lot.
I always make sure the rotary table is indicated in. If you don't indicate it in the rotary table, you give yourself a lot of headaches. But that's what we're on to. Totally not going to finish this today, which means we get to put it around back because I get to go to school this week. So finish it next weekend. Look at all these motors. But I'm going to go ahead and call this video here. So if you like the video and you want to see me make more mistakes, go ahead and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Or comment down below if you want to tell me how big of an idiot I am for messing this all up. It's all fine with me. Catch you guys on the next one. Later!